In early 1981, the Collins family moved into a modest two-story home on the outskirts of Dayton, Ohio. The neighborhood was quiet, built in the 1950s, and largely unchanged for decades. Nothing about the house suggested danger. No tragic history, no abandoned records. It had simply been vacant for several months. The first incident occurred 3 weeks after the move. Late one evening, Mrs. Collins heard her name spoken clearly from the upstairs hallway. She assumed it was one of the children. When she called back, the voice answered, repeating her name in the same tone. The same cadence, but slightly delayed. When she reached the hallway, it was empty. Over the next several nights, the family began noticing patterns. If someone spoke aloud in the house, there would sometimes be a response, not immediately. But minutes later, the voice was never louder than a whisper. It never shouted. It only repeated what had already been said. The children were the first to become frightened. They reported hearing their own voices coming from inside the walls. One child claimed the house practiced what it heard. When the Collins family contacted an electrician, nothing abnormal was found. No crossed wires, no audio equipment, no neighbors close enough to explain the phenomenon. Then the house began responding without prompts. At 2:17 a.m. on March 4th, Mr. Collins woke to hear footsteps pacing outside the bedroom door. He spoke, telling whoever it was to go back to bed. A moment later, the same sentence came back to him, in his own voice, spoken from the staircase below. The family contacted police. Officers searched the house and found no intruders. The incident was written off as stress. Things escalated quickly. Neighbors began complaining about voices coming from the Collins house late at night. Conversations that didn't make sense. Voices overlapping, sometimes repeating the same sentence over and over. One neighbor described it as a house rehearsing people. The final incident occurred in May 1981. Mrs. Collins was alone when she heard the front door open. She called out. A voice replied from the living room, her voice saying, "I'm here." She ran. The family moved out the next day. The house sat empty for years. Later owners reported nothing unusual, but county records show the house was quietly demolished in 1994. No official explanation was ever given.